something creeping around behind me. When it's as dark as this, once again, your mind does start playing tricks. Hi everyone, and welcome to my video. Now, as you can see, today I find myself in a rather pleasant forest, which just so happens to be only about 20 minutes drive from where I live, down in the southeast. In fact, right here in this spot, I'm only about 20 miles away from the centre of London. Hard to believe, but yeah, it's just on the outskirts of town. But as calm as I'm trying to look, and as smiley as I'm trying to be, if I'm being really, really honest, I'm actually really, really bricking it right now. This is not my first camp. I've also done some sort of bothy trips as well. And if you feel free to look at some of my other videos, and you'll see some of those experiences I've had. Each of them have been really, really enjoyable. But this one, I'm more nervous this time than I ever have been. I think a big part of that is where I find myself. I'm one of those people that's always found woods a little bit spooky. I guess that probably comes from childhood, you know, reading all those sort of like all those fairy tales, and then watching films like The Blair Witch. They don't exactly give you a love of forests, especially at night. But like right now, I'm the only soul around. And it's not too far away from dark, like from dusk. It's just probably about 5:15. But I'm not scared at all. It's fine. But I think I'm going to find that as the sun goes down and it gets dark, that's where it takes on a whole new light. And I've seen that in other people's videos as well. But I think you've just got to put yourself out there, haven't you? You've got to take risks. Life's all about risks and living life on the edge sometimes. So that is why I'm doing this. Right, so I reckon I have found what's probably going to be the best spot around if I'm going to pitch up for the night. If you look over, not the first log you can see laying down on the ground, but the one a bit further on than that, just behind that is the nearest footpath. If I pan around, you can see this area here doesn't really offer any good protection at all. If I put a tent there, I'm going to stand out, especially with the lights on. But if I come around a bit further, look at this. We've got some conifers here, which not only look rather pleasant, they also offer a rather convenient green screen to hide my tent behind. There's one there and one there. And obviously you can see my stuff just dumped on the ground. This is a little spot here that I'm thinking about maybe pitching up at. I actually found this little spot the last time I was in these woods. Even there, I just came for a bit of a walk actually that day, but even then I thought I'd search out some good camp spots. And I like this one because it's pretty flat. As I say, you can sort of hide a little bit behind these conifers. And yeah, it's a good distance away from the nearest footpath. So I've actually not got anywhere with putting the tent up. I've been sat here for the last 5 minutes or so, just procrastinating and mostly just listening to all of the noises around me. And there's quite a few, there's a bit of a breeze up there in the trees. They're swaying around a little bit so you can hear that. And there's also quite a few trees sort of creaking away as well. A few birds tweeted away, but obviously they're going to quieten down pretty soon. And then the nocturnal life will start coming out. And I'm realising already, even before it's completely dark, that, I don't know, if I do try and bed down here, my mind, I think, is going to start playing tricks and I'm not going to get much sleep. Do you know, I've always had a really, really active imagination. I actually love story writing in my spare time, so it's good for that, but it's not so good when you find yourself in a forest on your own. So I still don't know what I'm going to do. Other wild camps that I've done, I've been excited and still a little bit nervous. I think that's quite normal, but I've mostly been excited. But with this one, I really am quite apprehensive. It's not just about the noises around me, but it's also the fact that I'm in a public woods here, that, as I mentioned, is not too far away from London. I'll be honest, I've been in here for the last half an hour. I've not seen a person, and the chances are I probably won't. It's Saturday even. Once it gets dark, I can't see any reasons why there'll be anybody in here. But there's always that chance, you know, you're far more likely to get caught or to be caught or to be seen here than you are sort of somewhere like Kinder Scout in the Peak District. And even if you are found there, you know, in the Peak District, it's kind of more accepted because it's a national park and you find lots of other wild campers there. But you don't really find many sort of men on their own in a tent in a Hertfordshire forest. So I think my fears are pretty. I think I've got good reason to have these fears. But I'll sit here for a few more minutes and try and work out what I am going to. So, as you can see, darkness has well and truly fallen. It's amazing how quickly it did as well. Just over half an hour ago, it was light, and now, well, it's completely dark. But the bad news is, I'm afraid I have bailed, and I'm no longer at my original camping spot. As I sat there, just procrastinating, I just couldn't relax. And I came to enjoy the experience. I mean, I was a bit nervous, and that's normal, I think, to feel a little bit like that on every wild camp. But there were just too many negative thoughts going through my head. Mostly, I was worried about being caught. But there in the back of my mind, there were worries about, I don't know, a local lion being loose from the local Paradise Wildlife Park, knife-wielding bandits on the loose, you name it. It was all in my head. And I just knew that I wasn't going to sleep. It was going to be a really, really long night. And it just, at the end of the day, it just wasn't worth it. So, yeah, I'm disappointed that I've backed out of that and not done it. But I've decided that rather than just going home and completely sort of wasting the evening, that with all my camping gear with me, I'd have dinner out in the forest. So I've got my camping gear. I've got some dinner with me as well and a couple of beers. So I'm just going to sit here and try out one of my new stoves as well, and just sit and enjoy the sounds of the forest. It should still be a really, really enjoyable evening. I've got to share with you something I am really, really excited about, and it is this little beauty here. Now it is. You probably can't make out what it is because it's all in pieces. But it is like a bushcraft folding stove. Not much weight to it, folds away really, really easily. And I got the idea actually there's a great YouTuber called Paul Messner. If you've not come across any of his videos, well worth checking out. And he uses this in one of his most recent videos. He actually cooks on it. I'm not planning to do that tonight. I'm going to use it purely for decorative purposes. So I've got a little bit of kindling with me. And I'm just going to have a little bit of a fire while I'm doing my dinner on the jet boil. The great thing is, it's got I can see this part here is going to go on all the shadows, not great. But yeah, that goes at the bottom, so there'll be no fire risk, and I'm not going to damage the forest floor, which is really important that we don't do that. So yeah, it's a company that make it, are called Compact, and I've included the link below this video. So if you're interested in picking one up that's similar, you can see it's actually really reasonable. It's only about sort of £18 or so. So pretty good deal, really, seeing as you can spend, I don't know, sort of upwards of sort of £50–60 on a stove. So let's get this together, see how it looks. So here we go. Literally about 2 minutes later, and it's all together. It's really, really easy to do. I mean, I'll be honest, when it comes to putting things together like this, give me a piece of IKEA furniture, and I am not particularly brilliant, if I'm being honest. But even I was able to manage it. So straightforward. Let's get it lit now. So, dinner's cooked, it's piping hot. Give it a try and see just how good it is. Oh, I tell you what, if anybody complains about those meals, I don't know what you're complaining about. That is really, really nice. I mean, it's not quite an Indian restaurant experience, but it's not far off of it. Certainly, really, really quite delicious. And to go with it, I've got this evening one of Asda's own beer. This is an American IPA. It's only $1.25, and you get basically 330 ml. So what does that work out as a pint? That's sort of it's like a couple of pound a pint, isn't it? So that's really good value. I have tried this one before, and it's a lovely drop of beer. Sorry guys, should have said cheers first before I actually drank it, but I was in need of the beer after this evening. Oh, that is lovely. Very, very nice indeed. But yeah, this meal, I mean, it's all vegetarian, but I've got massive lumps of potato in it. pretty sure that was a chickpea I could see there as well. I reckon you at least get one of your 5 a day out of that. So there you go, pretty good going. All it's missing are the poppadoms to start and the mango chutney. Then you'll be in business. I've had to drag myself away from the fire because I was sitting there drinking that beer, feeling very, very relaxed. And I could hear something creeping around behind me. When it's as dark as this, once again, your mind does start playing tricks. It's probably just a deer or something similar. But there was no sign of anything. I think I'm going to sit just for a bit longer and wait until the fire goes out. But I wonder whether whatever that was will come back again. We'll have to see. Right, so it's just gone 9 now. Finished dinner about half an hour ago. So I've just been chilling out with my second beer. That was equally nice. Just listening to the sounds of the forest. Thankfully, whatever it was that visited me a little while ago never came back. But I have just heard an owl. I do love the sound of an owl. I mean, it is a bit spooky, but they are amazing. But I tell you what, just walking around here, I mean, I'm trying to make my way back. And it's making me realise that I'm glad that I chose not to camp. I mean, I'm finding it a bit spooky, just walking around here, making my way back to the car. But if I was camped in it, yeah, I really wouldn't have slept. But I'm really glad that I've still uploaded this. I think it's important to sometimes show that these things, these trips don't always turn out the way you plan them to. And yeah, it's also, no matter what your age, how big you are, how strong you are, you can sometimes get a bit spooked, and I think that is completely all right. But wait, don't worry the fact that I'm wandering around in circles. I do know roughly where I'm going. I'm just enjoying taking it all in. But I will say a big thank you for watching. Sorry it wasn't exactly again as I planned, but hopefully you still enjoyed it as much as I did. I'm certainly going home feeling like it wasn't a completely wasted evening. So if you did enjoy it, please subscribe. Always really appreciate that. As I would do if you leave any comments, especially if you've been in a similar boat to me where you've maybe got a bit spooked on one of these trips and you've decided to bail as well. Always great to hear from you also. But I hope to be back. I will come back here at some point and I will do it. Hopefully you can join me for that and all my future adventures. Take care of yourselves. See you soon. Bye-bye.